What's up, good people? I am Dr. Miracle Jackson, and I am just super excited to be here with you today. If you don't know who I am, welcome to the channel. I'm not the kind of doctor that can save your life, but I am the kind of doctor that can change your perspective. Yes, I did earn my doctorate, and I have just learned so much along the way that I want to share with you. Subscribe to the channel. So I mentioned health, wealth, and happiness. How does that relate to your life? How does that relate to you, who you are as a person, where you are in your life, and how fulfilled you feel with where you are? And those are some of the deep questions that I'm going to be really just diving into and just exploring what that looks like, right? So if you're not familiar with my research, I studied a field called andragogy, which is the study of adult learning. Many people have probably heard of pedagogy, which is the study of just K through 12 kind of learning. But I specialize in higher education, adult learning, just what that process looks like on a psychological level and how social context influence the people that we become and the lives that we begin to build. So if you are not satisfied with your life, then maybe you need a different perspective to get there. And that's what this channel is all about. So I'm super excited to get to know really just more people that are interested in a better life. I am the kind of doctor that can change your perspective. And yes, I am a real doctor, and we will go over the different kind of doctors that there are all over in the world, because did you know that there are over 30 different types of doctors? Yes, and most of them are above the age of 35, 40 range, right? So it's really rare to see somebody earning their doctorate before the age of 25 years old. And I've always known my entire life that I was extraordinary, but oh my, I have never really shared the stories behind how that was built. So we're going to be diving deep into that. I'm super excited. I'm going to start off this episode with shooting a shot, whether I make it or I miss it. The point is that I tried. Alright, so I just happened to make that one, which is so crazy because as you remember from the previous clips, I was missing so many shots and I was just focused on the wrong thing, right? And so today I just want to talk about mindset, because that's really the part with all this. On a real note, y'all, all of this AI shit that's about to take off and everything, what's gonna be the most important factor in that process and the evolution within society that we're about to see as technology becomes more present and permanent in a lot of our lives and different organizations that influence our lives as well. So I remember it was 2020, the pandemic had just first coming out. And I was in my master's program at that time, right? This is before I had actually applied for the doctoral program. So I go through and I'm applying for my master's, right? And one of the courses was talking about e-government, right? So these are conversations that the government has been having for a long time. And so I was like, ooh, that really piqued my interest. And so I was like, I want to dive deep into that and what that might look like in the future, right? And so it's so crazy 4 years later, and technology is really taking over in the government. It's getting to a place where they're beginning to incorporate it into their systems, their organizations. And we need to remember how that influences us as a people. So those are just some of the conversations that we're going to be having, because I didn't earn a master's degree for nothing. And my master's was in public administration with a focus on public sector management. And so I really dove. It was just really great to just explore so many different topics that impact our everyday lives. And so we'll be diving deep, oh my gosh, into some of that. And I'm super excited. If you're not subscribed, you definitely want to click that button below. And even if you don't want to, anyway, because I guarantee you, if you're interested in all things health, wealth, and happiness, you're not going to regret it. We're going to be talking about mindset. I came out to the basketball court today because I just was moved by the idea of life, right? So back when I was really deep into my dissertation journey and I was preparing a proposal and I was just essentially like ABD at that point in the doctoral program. And ABD, for those who don't know, is all but dissertation. When you get to that process in a doctoral program, essentially you need to complete your dissertation in order to graduate and be done. But all the coursework is done to the side. So in that process of writing my dissertation, I just remember learning about just the way that we're trained on a fundamental society level, the things that we're trained to, minds are essentially programmed to think a certain way and definitely not to think for ourselves, right? That's why when you're in school, or at least when I was in school, it was big on what career are you going to build? What companies do you want to work for? It wasn't how do you tap into being where you are in your life? How do you tap into understanding that part of it? And so when I was writing my dissertation and I was studying human behavior and psychology and how society, the government, and just all these different factors that influence lives and stuff, that was when I began to really understand life. I literally transformed as a person. And it was hard for me to recognize that because it was more like you don't know what you don't know, then how will you begin to move differently, essentially? And so I was like, oh, well, I started to, my perspective shifted to viewing life as offense and defense. And it's all about what play that do I want to make. And so today I want to shift your perspective. What play are you making in your life right now? Because if you're not being mindful about the decisions and the actions that you're doing, well, are you living? Are you alive? Are you looking forward to the next day? Those are you living in the moment? Or are you allowing things that have happened into the past to just hold down on you, or weigh down on you? And so those are some of the conversations that I wanted to continue to have with myself, but also now I'm reaching a point in my life where I'm able to share the knowledge and the journey with others to help you transform and just inspire you to take that next step wherever you may be in your life. So again, my name, I am Dr. Mirakal Jackson. I am a real doctor, not the kind of doctor that can save your life, but I am the kind of doctor that can change your perspective. I am the education doctor. So today we're going to be shooting a shot. Whether I make it or I miss it, what matters is that I tried. So pay close attention and let's see what happens. All right, so I did not make it, but it's okay, right? There are going to be moments in our life where we miss the shot, but don't get stuck on that shot. Just take another one. And if you miss that one again, guess what you do? You take another one. And if it happens again, you just keep on doing the same thing and the same thing until guess what? You make it. And that's how manifestation works. That's how the mindset of just where we want to be in our lives is all right here. They don't call the mind a control center for nothing, right? So I want you to tap in to what's going on up here because I guarantee you will begin to see the changes in your life that you want to see. All right, y'all. So we are at the court. This moment right now, what we're about to learn today is super exciting. And not because I made this hat custom made. If you need you a custom hat, go and get you a thinking cap. Because if you don't have a cap customized by me on your head, are you thinking? What's up, y'all? If you don't know who I am, Dr. Mirakal Jackson, not the kind of doctor that can save your life like a medical doctor, but I am the kind of doctor that can change your perspective like an education doctor. So during my dissertation process, I was just so submerged and just becoming intellectually rich. The mental wealth and all of the knowledge that was just being poured into me, I began to really take in who I was becoming, right? Because a lot of people, there are 3 reasons that someone would go for a doctorate, just generally. First one is the conventional way of just going for the doctorate, right? And then the second one would be just the idea of being able to become a different person and embrace the knowledge to share it. That's where it begins to become just super influential. All right, so the point is that the reason why I went on my journey to becoming a doctor of education before the age of 25 years old was because I was obsessed with learning. It was something, and I'm at the park right now, so don't mind the background, but I was super excited to achieve something that I've never seen done, to be the person to do that and to understand the impact of that, See, that's where God was really working on me at that point in my life, where I had two options. I could either go down the path of being somebody who desired to please other people to the point where I went out my way to please them before pleasing myself. And the other option would be where I desire to be who God has called me to be. See, there is just so much that I have learned that I've realized that where I am right now is not where I want to be, but where I am right now might be where somebody else who might be watching this is where you want to be, right? Or might not. Or you might be watching this video and just wondering, what are those lessons, right? And I want to dive deep into those things. So leave a comment if you're interested in any topics that fall under the category of health, wealth, and happiness. And what you'll find there is so many topics come down to that. So, hi, I'm Dr. Mirakal Jackson. I am the kind of doctor that can change your perspective. Sometimes I like just coming out to the court at night because life is all about offense and defense. And it's all about the play that you're making, the piece that you are, the role that you play on the team. There are just so many ways to understand life. And more importantly, there are so many perspectives to view life. And those are the things that I want to talk about in this channel. I want to share what I have learned along the way because there are so many things that I can teach you. So, and if you're wondering, why should you want to learn from me? Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. So you should want to learn from me because I studied back to back for 7 years straight, where I ended my academic journey with a doctorate. Yep, a doctorate of education and leadership, where my dissertation focused on andragogy, which is the study of adult learning. Why do we do what we do, and how do we do it, right? And how can we evolve and transform as people, both mentally, right? So a lot of the work that I was doing in college, and especially during my dissertation journey, as I was thinking about the future that I wanted to experience, because I was living in the moment. And while I was living in the moment, I was understanding my history and the past of where I came from. And so as the day is coming to a close, I wanted to just come out to the court and just make a video and just put it out there that more is coming. I had to get to a point in my life where I felt like I deserved more. And I deserve it, y'all. I deserve it. And if you knew how hard I worked to earn my doctorate, then you would understand my journey a little bit better. And that's why I want to share it with you. So thank y'all for tuning in and making it this far in the episode. I am super excited to see you in the next one.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Go and Grow. I am Dr. Mirakal Jackson. Please make sure that you take care of yourself. Doctor's orders.